Welcome back, everybody, to the Pair of Kings podcast. I'm your host, Saul Thompson. You can find me on Instagram at Saul Thompson. I'm joined this week by my wonderful co-host.
What's up? I'm sometimes wonderful, always a co-host, Michael Smith. You know where to find me. And we are joined this week by Polo Cheng, who is in town for a pop-up. We are currently at Komune. We talk about how much we love Komune all the time. We are currently in front of Troubled Waters, a rack of Troubled Waters clothing. This is Polo's work behind us, and yes, I'll stop talking. Polo, how's it going?
Oh, hey guys, it's going really good. Hello, I'm your wonderful guest, Polo. It's a pleasure to be here with these two gentlemen, and it's a pleasure to be here in New York. It's actually my first time here. Yes, I've only been here for 50 hours. Can you imagine?
Polo's unfortunate first interaction upon arriving in New York was Michael and I.
Yeah, we saw him. We snuck out of a Ludan party in full Ludan and came to bug all the Komune people at a. I'm really surprised that you were at that opening reception day one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was late too. It was what, 9 or 10 at night?
Yeah, probably.
You came from Tokyo straight to here?
Yeah, I came from Tokyo straight to here. Yeah, straight to here. Jeez. Yeah, it was I like New York, I feel like it was from the day of the reception that I felt the energy from the city. It's not the cleanest place on earth, I understand,
No,
but
yes.
it's I feel like New York's getting my mixed comments, especially coming from Asia. I've never been here before, right? So it was I'm just learning from my friends, and I just feel I'm very glad that I came here myself and I get to experience because I actually do like this place a lot. It's a beautiful chaos in my opinion.
And you are, I will say, you have one of the best coming to New York experiences that you have spent most of your time at Komune, which is the most welcoming and nicest place that I think we have here.
Yeah.
So if you have friends who visit and do the tourism things, they will not hold the same regard that you do.
So before we dive too far into it, you can find Polo on Instagram at POLO__ZHENG, and then you can find Troubled Waters at troubledwaters.co. We should mention that. Go check it out. It's incredible. Polo does a lot of different things.
Yes.
But we are here for the pop-up at Komune for Troubled Waters.
So currently this week, there's a Professor.E and Troubled Waters pop-up. There, we were talking about this a little before, but not recording. There's they're two very interlinked brands. Could you give us sort of a rundown of that connection?
Yeah, for sure. So I guess I feel you put it in a really nice way. It's really interlinked, and it's so interlinked to the extent that a lot of people find it a little bit confusing. What's exactly my relationship with Ken, who is also known as the founder of Professor.E. So how everything happened is that around 5 seasons ago, my team in Tokyo, the 1E team, my agency, we started taking over the showroom, the distribution for Professor.E. So we're doing everything in Tokyo back then, and now we're moving everything to scale up. We're moving everything to Paris, and we get into bigger stockists. But it was a really step-by-step process. We didn't get into essence and everything from day one. It was we worked on it very hard together, and then throughout work. So of course Ken started off being kind of my client, and then we become friends, and now we're business partners for Troubled Waters. So what happened is that just one day around last year, around this time actually, September, October, we were on his car, I was going back for a visit for my family. It was something very casual, and then we were just talking about what else can we do together, because Ken, he's a really smart person, he's really business minded, and he's kind of my mentor at the same time. And we were just talking about stuff in the car, and I was maybe we can work on designs together someday. And then he was then why don't we make another brand? Yeah, cool. It was very organic, because we know each other's skill set a lot even before we started a brand together. So I think that's also a reason why Troubled Waters grows rather fast compared to other 9 months old brands. Because
is it only 9 months old?
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. We started the IG probably on January.
Okay,
wow.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I think Ken obviously has a very good background in clothing design, and you have a good background in PR. It's sort of a very synergistic matchup, I would say. Before we get really, really far ahead, we should do a fit check. Saul, could you tell me what you are currently wearing?
Yeah, really quickly. Do you know that one photo? It's Ghidorah. It's the three-headed dragon from Godzilla, and it's the two scary heads, and then the one going like.
You're
I'm
the one going
the third head. Exactly. If you could put that up, that'd be great.
the Cuphead boss.
Yeah,
that's the two dragons, and one of them's just like really stupid.
Yeah.
So I've got my R.M. Williams boots, some striped gold denim, a shirt from our good friend Kartik. This is Kartik Research. And then I have a vintage Wrangler leather jacket that says Pro Rodeo on the back that I love, and I think it brings the outfit together. I'm just guy in button down. When I put that on, I'm like, oh.
Cowboy.
Yeah.
It has dropped 2 degrees below warm. Like it's reached the temperature where if you're in the shade, you're like, oh, that's a little cold. And everyone's got jackets on immediately.
Yeah.
I'm sweating more now than I did in the summer because I've been wearing a jacket.
I want to say it with tact. I had to go home and shower today. I smelled terrible.
I'm glad you did that.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I did not. I wanted Saul to use the commune shower because I don't think there's a shower downstairs and no one has used it.
No one. Yes, it looks quite nice actually.
Yeah, no, it's a nice shower. Yeah, someone's got to take a shower.
Mm-hmm.
I want to like mid party at some point make someone like take a commune shower.
Yeah. As he's walking in, Alex is one of the wonderful people that works here at Commune. Come in, Alex, please, and give us a really quick fit check because your outfit's great.
Yeah, wait, come here.
You got to go quick though. Come on.
Here, right in the middle.
Take my seat.
There you go.
Alex has been working door at Commune.
He's the bouncer.
He's the bouncer.
Oh my God, I'm so...
You want to get into Commune, you got to get past Alex.
He kicks people out all the time.
Yeah.
Name 3 people you know inside. Okay, I'll give a quick fit check and then I'll go downstairs. But Carol Christian pole boots.
Which ones?
These are the kangaroo leather prosthetic tornado zips.
Oh yeah.
We have these Dickie shorts that I cropped. They used to be pants.
Yo, the tornadoes with the Dickies is insanely hard.
Oh, okay. I appreciate it. And then this interesting story. This is Martin's. It's a rep Hyder Ackerman hoodie.
Oh, no way.
In high school, they all like loved that one hoodie.
Yeah.
And they got one of like his high school friends' moms who works in the garment district to essentially just replicate the pattern.
That's so sick.
And I'm just wearing it.
Hell yeah. You look great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry for interrupting.
You did great.
Ken was just telling me about how when Alex was wearing like the tornado boots with shorts, it really makes sense. You know what I mean? I don't think like a lot of people can pull that off.
He looks great.
I don't think there's any other person that I would like. Most people, if I saw that, I'd be like, "That's weird." Those are not short boots. But
Yes.
Alex
makes him look great. He's also the
he
sweetest
pull
kid.
anything off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to run through what you're wearing today?
Oh, yes. I was supposed to wear like a short sleeve with like my vest back from Troubled Waters, but it was way too cold.
Yeah.
That's to your point. Like it's dropping like 2 degrees under like our comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. So I'm wearing like I think it's like a biker jacket actually from Rick Owens. I don't know which season. And for like the bottoms, like I'm wearing like the Troubled Waters wrap skirt, and for jeans I'm wearing like a waxed and distressed denim from also TBW.
Oh, TBW is that what you call Troubled Waters?
Yeah, abbreviation.
Cool. The combo's so nice. I've been seeing a ton of people wearing this skirt.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of, I feel like a lot of the people who've been in Commune I've seen.
That's
Lance had the wrap skirt on today,
that's
which
true.
It
also
made me
pretty
want one.
incredible. $120.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be a lot more.
The price point is incredible. I think we'll get to that in the.
Yeah.
I should let you finish off. Yeah.
Oh, yes. The shoes is some combat boots also from CCP.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got them from my intern. Like he was trying to sell it. And look, like I use these shoes like so often while like we're shooting like lookbooks and campaigns, and like even like when we're producing like campaigns and visuals for other brands, you know.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I use it so much to the extent that like when he's trying to sell it, like I should be the one who buy it, you know, because I feel like
you can't
I
lose
use
that.
it most of the time. Yeah, so
this is one of my favorite CCP boot shapes that's been made. They're really good.
I like the laces a lot.
They
I know
also they take like an hour to put on.
Oh
right?
yes, and they cut my ankle.
Tight. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
very very uncomfortable. But one good thing, like they make me taller. I like
Ah.
it. Hey, people in America, they're real tall. Like in Japan, like I can see over other people's forehead. And, like here, like I see their chest.
Yeah.
Most often than not, at least for you. That's what
I
I
gotta
would
go to
say.
Japan.
Yeah. You'll feel
Yeah,
like
me too. I'll finally
you'll
feel
feel like
tall.
a king. Yeah, you too. Yeah, you're going to feel like me. Yeah, and for like the headpiece, it's kind of like it's from a Chinese brand called Attempt, and actually it's from this is going to be releasing 1 month, so it's okay. But we shot my team in Tokyo, like we also do like production, so we shot like their 25 spring summer campaign, and then like this is one of like their styling pieces, and like after the show I was just asking like their CEO, I was like, look, like you guys have like this really cute pieces for like the headpiece, like you know where I can get them, and they're like, oh, they're only styling pieces, like if you want them you can just take them away, and I took 2. Yeah, so now I wear it every day. Yeah, it's really nice. It's very nice. Yeah,
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
Good.
that's it for the fit.
It looks great.
Yeah,
I'm being influenced. I like the wrap skirt a lot, and it seems good to just throw over like any pair of like black pants.
That's called aura, bro.
That's called aura.
Yeah, no, like I passed it to the best dressed man of a New York Fashion Week. The pants, the one of one leather one, only one that he's seeing like in XS. He was flexing on me earlier today.
My bad.
Yeah.
People ask me about these shorts, and I'm just so excited about them. So today I am wearing the top is just a like regular Rick Owens one size tank top. The leather Moody shorts, the Rick basketball shorts with the stripes that are made of leather that I have never actually seen another extra small for sale in my life. And I paid $250 for these.
Damn.
And then the matching elephant boots from the runway. My friend found these in a thrift shop in Australia and shipped them to me.
This is the outfit that you put me in every time. I'm like, can I wear Rick today?
Yeah, this is anytime someone, because also I feel like this is like so much of my Rick like won't fit someone a size bigger than me.
Yeah.
You could fit anybody in it. You could fit both of us in this. And the shoes are also huge. Like I have giant insoles in them. And then I was wearing this funny denim coat that's got a monk hood on it. Makes you look like Cornholio. Kind of like shoulder
that was very cute.
Yeah.
So we were talking about this today, and I want to bring it up before we get too far from the fit check. But a really interesting thing that we experienced today is me in my little proto-Western outfit, Michael in his full Rick. We're both able to work in the Troubled Waters jacket.
That's true.
Without any trouble, and it looked really good in both outfits.
So there's this collab with Marcel Everette.
I'll pull one so you guys can see it.
Thank you.
Garrett, who is the Marcel Everette designer, has been hanging out around Komune as well.
He's so cool.
He's so cool.
He's so fucking cool.
And he designed this jacket that is like got a lot of workwear details, but is also very like it's also it's deconstructed behind us right now.
Yeah. So like there's actually like 2 versions. So this one that we're holding up right now is like the gray colorway, and like the one you see like dissected on the back, it's the rust colorway.
So you dyed it with rust.
Yeah, actual rust. Yeah, in Taipei in our atelier. Yeah, it takes Ken a secret formula to put like the rust on it. I don't know. Like he's not going to tell me how it's
ferrous oxide.
Oh, not even you. It's your.
I know. Like
he doesn't want you running off with the company secrets.
Exactly. Yeah. And
I've done that accidentally. I could tell you how he does it.
It's like the beer that the monks make, where only one person knows this part and one person knows this part and one person knows this part, and no one person can make all of it. Well, actually, I'm curious how does the like, because this is like essentially like a work of 3 people. Like this is Troubled Waters, this is you and Ken, and then this is also Garrett, Marcel Everette.
Yeah.
How does that come together?
Yeah, so I think so if we go to like the very like start, like how this whole conversation initiated between like me, Ken, and Garrett, is that Garrett's trying to come over to Asia for like some events for Marcel Everette, right? And then and then like some mutual friends and like someone introduced him to like my agency in Tokyo, and then and then like we did like a few events a while back, and then he was like, yo, like, can I work with you? Can you guys produce like my events in Tokyo and Shanghai? And then we're like, yes, of course. And then just casually like ask him like, hey, look, like we have like this new project, like it's very young, but I think we think it's going to go very far. And do you want to do like a collaboration with it?
Amazing.
Yeah, and it came like this, and then I was like, me and Ken, we were discussing about like, look, like we're working with a really good brand that's like a lot more well-known than we are comparatively, at least back then. And then I was like, we really need to put out something that makes people be like, wow, like, yeah, that like I work with you guys and I got this outcome, and I wouldn't be able to get it like when I'm doing it myself.
You're not just doing a T-shirt with 3 names.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's pulling in someone with like a specialty.
Exactly.
That you're
exactly.
working with.
Yeah. And like our specialty is like artisanal works, because we have like the same, we share like a lot of the same people with Professor.E, as you guys can probably imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And our specialty is like traditional artisanal craftsmanship. And then like the rust dye is like it's like 2 reasons. First of all, like it's obviously visually it's very cool, and second of all, it's because like Marcel Everette, they always like work with like a lot of hardware, like their whole aesthetic is like really industrial. So I feel like the rust treatment just fits the whole brand really well.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we proposed that to Garrett and he loved it, and then that's how it all came together.
I feel bad. We have the Komune people trapped in their own basement while we record in their main room.
Their living room.
Ken's also in the basement right now.
Ken of Professor.E is currently trapped in the basement.
Yeah, I bet you a 7th Street burger that he's already asleep.
He's on the Benjamin Greco beanbag chair.
That thing is so comfortable.
It's wonderful. Saul and I were very impressed because both of us put that jacket on.
Yeah.
And me in like the giant basketball uniform and Saul in the like cowboy outfit. It matched perfectly for both.
It looked good in both, genuinely.
And I think it does a really good job of pulling like the workwear, but also the like more like artisanal avant-garde, for lack of a better word. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
First of all,
really
I think
good.
I also found out like I didn't find out myself, because like what I wear is like also like more, I think, slightly towards the avant-garde side. So I just wearing it myself. So like I didn't find out that it also works in like other aesthetic.
Yeah.
Until like today, where like some people, they came in like full like, you know, like blue jeans, and then like some guy in some like loafers and like a white tee, and he like tried one of them on and just completely made sense. I was like, damn, I'm surprised.
I probably would not have said that just looking at it, but like I think a lot of it's the color. Like it's not like solid black, so it doesn't look weird with blue jeans, and it's not blue, so it doesn't like, I don't know, it's just like, it's perfect. It's a good jacket.
It's a great jacket.
Great shit.
I wanted to ask, so with Tokyo being such a fashion-forward city and designing within that city, how do you, 1, make sure that the work that you make stands out? And then 2, where do you look and draw inspiration from in Tokyo in particular?
Yeah, so I think, wow, that's quite a difficult question. Like, what do I draw inspiration from? I'll say it's because like a lot of creative work goes into like my regular schedule, even without like Troubled Waters, right? Yeah, like we do like a lot of shoots, like creative direction for like other brands. And they are like really, really good brands, like a Namesake, Petrichor, we did them too. We're doing Julius next month.
Oh, wow.
And
amazing.
so all those stuff is like we're working with creative. So I feel like naturally like my work environment just gets me inspired by like some like pretty top creative industry people. So I feel like I just draw inspiration from like my surroundings. And how do I make them stand out? I think I really don't try to make them stand out. Like I'm just trying to put everything in the context of like I actually wear it and Ken don't hate it. Yeah. You know, like a balance, you know? And then like, Ken's a grumpy old dude. So like he hates like a lot of stuff that I do. But at the same time, he loves me so much to the...
You've got this sort of like clash going on between you two?
No, like it's always like that. I mean, like we're sleeping in the same room, like at the same hotel, because the hotel's so expensive in New York. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're like basically brothers, you know. Like it's and he admitted, you know, like he's like how do I say it? Like so Troubled Waters work like this, okay? To give you like an insight. So it's really clear like line of like our work content. So my team in Tokyo, we take care of the direction. And his team in Taipei takes care of all the execution. So I think without each other, like none of us will be able to make a brand, honestly. Because I think the two of them are equally important, you know?
Right.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and so like so that's how like everything is balanced, you know,
Mhm.
like we don't put our hands in each other's pocket, we don't interfere, we
Yeah.
trust each other on a professional level,
Mhm.
and then like we just go from there. Yeah, it's a little bit like a far away from like what you have asked, but I really don't know how to make design stand out that much. It's just
So
yeah.
you said design takes place in Taipei and execution takes place in.
Other
or
way
did I do
around.
that?
Other way
Sorry, other way
around.
around.
Yeah.
My bad. What does that entail on each? So like you're doing design and he's doing execution. What's the like conversation that happens between you two?
Okay, so I think it's really like this. Like we talked, actually me and Ken was discussing this earlier today too. Like there's really pros and cons in like being in like different countries. Like the pros, like obviously is because like we can see different things. So like there's more perspectives that goes into like the whole branding, you know, not just the design, but the storytelling and the vision and everything. But like there's like a big backside of this, which is not very good. And is that the communication, like to your
Yeah.
point, it's quite difficult. Like we're having like, so we all have like our main things going on in a sense, you know, like he have Professor.E, it's his main thing, I have my agency 1E, and it's like we often have like really late night meetings to be like really transparent.
Yep.
And then like you know after like a new set of samples come here, like we're going to do like meetings at like 11 o'clock at night until like 1 o'clock in the morning, and then like we have to do like a lot of things like remotely because again like the design team is in Tokyo and like the execution is in Taipei, so
Right.
you know like there's definitely like things that would be like a lot easier if we're in the same
Right.
place. But I guess like for now, like it is what it is. Like we've finally almost found like a good way to resolve everything. But I will say that very frankly, like in the first few months, that was a huge problem.
Yeah. So like you'll, draft up a design and you'll send it to them to talk about like, how you might go about producing it.
Exactly. So it is like, I will draft up so first of all, like there's going to be like an initial PDF for all of the stuff that I want to do. I have like a designer in Tokyo who actually helps me draw out all the stuff.
Okay.
So I didn't come from like a fashion design background. I graduated with like arts and literature and degree. So it's like, I'm not gonna lie, like I don't know how to draw that well. Like not on a professional level, you know,
Yeah.
like I don't want to walk around and be like, yes, I'm like the designer. Like I can be the director to be honest, but like design, like you cannot be a designer if you don't even know how to draw, you know,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
it's, you know, like you don't even know how clothes are made. So like I'm not trying to like act like I'm like a designer, which I'm really not. Like we have like a designer, like I give him like the moods and like the direction and the things I want to make and like the treatments, and then like he'll come out with concrete designs, like things that
Cool.
actually draw on AI and everything.
Oh,
And
amazing.
then those are made into tech packs, which are the things that that will be made in Taipei, and then like in Taipei we'll send it to like the manufacturers, and like the manufacturers are going to get back to. So like
Right.
if anyone listening to this podcast is wondering how clothes are made, like this is what people don't tell you. Like
Yeah.
this is how
A long chain of different
Exactly.
like people have to be involved.
exactly.
Start
And
to
then like
finish.
of course there's like the pattern and everything.
Yeah.
And then like okay, first sample, second sample, third sample. We do like washes on like a lot of products.
Mhm.
So actually we have to design a lot of time in advance.
Got it.
Because like every time you want to wash the sample, it goes to like the like the sewing part, and like the washing part is like a different
Yep.
Right, yeah.
company, like at least different department, and that takes like extra long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also like the more steps you have, the more treatments you have, the higher possibility that it goes wrong, which
Yeah.
means that you need another sample.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, so like
And you have
stuff
to-
like this, like it's a lot of back and forth. So communication is really important.
Right. And I guess you're doing a lot of like producing garments, and then the garments themselves are altered like after being created. Like you have all this like things that are distressed after they've been created, or things that are dyed after they've been created. So there's this like so many different steps you have to get right before it's fully like produced, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. But that's at the same time, like that's something that I don't want to compromise on, because I know like if I'm just making like a pants with like a certain like fabric and like to sew it together, then that's like the easy way, like
Yeah.
I can achieve it and go be fast, and it's going to be cheap because like there's not like a lot of steps to it. But like at the same time, I feel like we do have like I feel like one of like our signature will definitely be like the treatment process that we go
Yeah.
through, because I feel like we have a really good production manager in Taipei. Her name is Isen, and then like she's just really like she's like a full boss, like she
Yeah.
takes care of all the stuff, and I feel like it will be like our that would be something that other like younger brands probably don't have. So it's really nice for us to make a thin show. Ken, do you want to be in the camera for a split second to say hi?
You want to say hi?
Hi.
Yeah.
Why not? Ken, come
Do you
on
want to
in.
give us a quick fit check?
Oh, you want to go? Okay, he just want to go smoking.
Yeah, I do think that's one of the things that stands out. And I guess maybe like the common link I see between Professor.E and your stuff, like very like different aesthetics, but the sort of like focus on treatment is still there, which I really like.
Yes,
Yeah, it's really cool.
that's our advantage.
Is there one, is there like some garment that you like really want to make and haven't figured out yet? Like, is there a dream garment to be made, or material to work with, or treatment to do?
Yes, I think there's a lot actually.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I keep trying to like experiment and like to try to push the brand further. But so like as I mentioned earlier, like Ken is like the more realistic guy. Like and we joke about it a lot actually. I was like, he's just like he there's like a lot of stuff that he will look at me and be like, hey Polo, if we do that, we're going to go broke. You know, like stuff like this. Or like,
Wait,
okay,
what's an example?
Yeah.
okay, look, so like you know, like I'm like quite skinny, like quite slim, right? So like sometimes I wear clothes that are like a little bit smaller, right? Like they're more like a fit, right?
Sure.
And then like and Ken's like, okay, if we make that fit, then no one else like except you is going to fit into it. Like just please don't make it. Like we're not able to sell like 100 to 100 units on this, and that's like our minimum, like how do I say, minimum order.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like stuff like that. But I do like, so like as much as I sound like I'm complaining, like I actually do really appreciate it.
Of
because
course.
without those opinions, like it's not going to make it to like right now, you know. Like I think it's like the balance is so important. So actually I have like a lot of things I want to experiment. Like for example, like I really want to make a coat this winter. I just got like our first sample. It's I think there's like a lot to change. That's one thing that we wanted to work with. Another thing that I wanted to work with, we figured it out, was like the leather vest. That was like, I always wanted to work with leather. And that's like one of my, you know, like I like it myself, you know, just on a personal level. Yeah, I know like the margin is going to be like a lot smaller, and like to produce, blah, 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 it's going to be whatever. But, you know, it's like, something I want to work with. And there's like a lot of other treatments, because you know, like nowadays I go out, like let's say I go to like the Rick Owens store or somewhere. I was there like the other day, and it was like nowadays I look at clothes, I look like I'm with Ken, I just be like, hey Ken, how do they do this? Yeah, you know.
And some of the stuff Rick does with leather is like there's some weird stuff going on over there.
Yeah, and also not just with leather, but like with
Everything.
cotton, like the dye and everything. You know, like some older Rick pieces, like we do like try to how do I say, like a research about it, you know, like how do they experiment, you know. Like I find it quite fun actually, you know, like when we have time, like it's something that we like to do, figure things out. So I think like things I want to do, really, like there's like a million. But there are things that I can do at this moment is limited to like whatever Ken feels today.
Right. And a coat is an interesting, I feel like a coat, like you can make garments, and then making coats suddenly becomes this whole new like set of rules and like structures and like production methods that you have to like do. So I mean, I guess it's good that you have someone with you who's Where did we left off in the conversation?
We were talking about coats and the production process,
and what you're interested in making.
Oh, there's one more actually.
What is it?
I really want to make shoes.
Shoes. That's another like really.
It's a different realm of design.
Yeah, like I feel I know a lot of people who are very good like clothing manufacturers or like clothing designers, but you get to shoes and it's like there's just a completely different like process and everything. Like the stitching is similar and that's about it. Like everything else is different. You met our friend Ives Barrera today.
Yes. Amazing works, by the way.
Yeah, it's really one of our friends who was also in town for Fashion Week. He designs and makes shoes from scratch, and it's so interesting to see that process, I guess. I feel like you hear a lot about clothes, but not about shoes. So, yeah.
No, like if off the record, but like if nothing goes wrong, I feel like maybe towards the start of next year, we're going to be putting out shoes. It's in the
off
design.
the record, so you want us to delete this?
No, it's okay. Yeah, let's just put it here.
So on the record.
So
but
on
off
on the record.
Like sort of like near the record.
Yeah, near the record. Because I just, yeah, I mean, like, if nothing goes wrong, it's going to come out. We're already in the designing process. Like, we're going to hopefully do it out by beginning of next year. Let's see how it goes. It's going to be the first time, so it's like I don't want to overpromise because
Right.
it's like a lot of trial and error. You know, like what if the things I design just looks hideous? You know, like what if the shoe looks terrible? You know what I mean? Like that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Good on you for being humble, but so far I think you've got a pretty good track record.
Thank
so,
you.
Everything's going good. Yeah. What sort of shoe are you hoping to design?
It's definitely leather, so like
Yeah.
derbies or boots.
Nice.
Yeah, there's like two directions right now, and one is like a pair of boots. One is like a pair of derbies. They're like in totally different like aesthetic, I would say. But it's whichever the manufacturer is more confident with producing, and it's whichever the first sample looks better. So we just choose one from the two.
Right. And sort of just like trial run, see how that goes.
Yep. Yeah. I hope everything goes okay.
Yeah. I have faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What got you into the field in the first place? Can you point to a certain time or a certain person in your life that really influenced you?
Yeah, actually, yes. I can point to a certain person. And so that was around 2018. Yeah, like maybe like late 2018. I've always liked clothes, but it was like not to like the level of like in fashion, like of like the culture. It was just like I like clothes. Like I like to look good, much like most people, you know.
Yeah.
It was not on like a high level or anything near. But it was like one day, I was with my friend. I was in uni already, so I was in like Waseda. My best friend, shout out to Anais, by the way. And so my best friend's, she told me like her mom was like an editor, right? But she's like really low key and everything. And she's like, oh, you know, like, cause back then they were filming a show like in Tokyo. It was like a Chinese like celebrity, kind of like fashion related TV show. And then like there was like quite a few like famous celebrities. So one day after school, she was like, hey, like my mom's like a part of it. Like, you know, like do you want to, you know, go over and have a look? Because like everyone likes meeting celebrities who were really young back then. And then I was like, yeah, why not? And I didn't think too much. And basically it turned out that like her mom was like the now like ex-editor-in-chief of Harper's Bazaar China.
Holy cow.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and then...
That little old place.
Yeah.
You know, something like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and editor, I guess. Yeah, in chief. Yeah, and so anyways, she's really really big. No, we didn't talk too much because I was like a bit, you know, like I don't know what to say. I was a kid. Yeah. And then I still like after I met her, like I still didn't know like much about fashion. Like we didn't talk like anything too deep. But what I felt in the moment was that I just really liked this person's like confidence. Like I really liked the vibe that she was giving off, you know. And after that, the day I went back home, like I called my mom. Yeah, I was in my dormitory. It's really small, by the way. Like a Japanese dormitory is probably like this size, you know. It was literally just a bed and like a desk. And I still remember, like I was sitting on my bed. I was like calling my mom. I was like, you know what? Like I kind of like maybe I want to try out being like a editor, like at a magazine. Yeah, and my mom is like, oh sure, like you know, like go for it. And then I was like, okay, yeah, like as long as you support that career choice, like it will be nice.
That's so sweet.
Yeah,
that's so wholesome.
It is pretty wholesome. And then like the next day, I went to like a bookstore in Japan called Tsutaya. I went to like the Daikanyama branch. I just bought all the like fashion related books. It was so heavy. Like I never bought like so many books in like one time, so I didn't know how heavy it was. It was so heavy, like I had to call a taxi back. Taxi in Japan is really expensive, by the way. I was a student, I couldn't afford it. I already spent all my money on books. Yeah, and then it was like really general books, you know what I mean? It's like 100 fashion designers type of like really like, you know, books that Vogue probably put out that I wouldn't necessarily read like now anymore. But it was like, but yeah, I had to educate myself, you know, because I didn't study fashion. So I went back and I go through all the stuff, and then like my mom called me one day, and she was like, this props to her, by the way. Like she has like we have like a family friend who's like a manager and editor at GQ Taiwan, and that's how everything started.
Amazing.
Cool. Do you have sort of two separate questions? Do you have like what's the first designer that you saw and like it really stood out to you? And then what's the first like after you discovered this love? What's the first like big clothing thing you bought?
Ooh.
That's a really good question. So, like, I feel like the first design that really got me looking will probably be... Okay, it's either like Rick Owens or it's Kawakubo Ray. Yeah, it's either one. But like I wouldn't. But I already know like Rick Owens even before like I got into fashion, you know,
Right.
because it was quite a big thing back then in China. So it was like
Right, yeah.
you know, to like my just trying to look good era. I already had like Rick Owens pods and everything.
Wow.
Oh,
Damn.
You're just trying to look good
Damn.
is
No.
much cooler than the standard American just trying to look good, I
Yeah,
would say.
because it's a big thing.
Yeah,
you have to
yeah.
understand it was a big thing back then, and like it was of course, like I wasn't able to afford it. Of course, I was sharing it with my older brother. Yeah, we used to share the same pods. We wash it so much, it's like black doesn't look like black anymore.
Yeah.
And the shoes are always really much fucked.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's but also like it was like Kawakubo Ray that really got me like reading into it, you know, because there was like books about it basically back then.
And
I
there's
still
so much
remember like
history.
the title was like 3 Japanese designers, whatever. It's basically just talking about Issei, Yoji, and Kawakubo Ray, and then back then it was just CG. Just I don't know, like maybe the name just stood out to me the most. Yeah, this sounds like the most interesting, and I've seen it like a couple of times. I just don't really know what it was all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like it was like my story. Like that's the first part that I finished reading. I was really invested, and a piece that I bought back then, it's probably like actually like that piece was too small for me, but but it was like I think it was like a 90s like CDG vest with flowers on it.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, like when like back then it was like it has to be really like visually, wow, this looks cool. You know, or like wow, I haven't seen this before. So it was the one with like the flowers. And back then I didn't know like my body size, of course. I'm just getting into fashion, so I bought it second-handed. I mean, it's from the 90s, so yeah, it's second-handed. And then like it didn't fit me at all.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta have like I think. Like getting into fashion, you have to buy at least a few things that just do not fit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you have to buy a couple things like for the sake of them being like flashy.
I think you also have to buy a couple of things that don't fit, but there's like a 6-month period where you insist that they do.
Yes.
And you're wearing just horribly ill-fitting clothing.
And ripping them all the time.
of
I've
course.
had several of these. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned the culture of sort of looking good between China and Japan as well. And you've mentioned the energy here in New York. Culturally and just current culture in both New York and Tokyo, even in Taiwan or in China, how do you see them being different as it pertains to young people in those cities?
I see. Wait, so how does like how does like looking good culture in these countries vary?
Yes, exactly. For young people.
I would say like the best dress is still Japan. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
like, Tokyo is still like the best dressed.
We got to catch up.
Yeah, and actually, like people in Taipei, I think like they care less about fashion because it's like really warm weather. There's like a limitation to what you can wear. It's like about t-shirt and shorts and sandals, and that's about it. Yeah, nothing like not too much about layering.
I did
whatnot.
when
I
I
rule
was
that
in
city.
when I was in when I was in Taipei, I did meet a lot of like it's again it's like sort of with the same frequency as New York. Like in New York, everyone looks kind of good, but you'll also meet people who are very much like into fashion.
Yep.
And in Taipei, I felt like general culture dressed good, but there's every now and then you meet someone who's like truly like actually very into fashion.
Yep.
Yeah. And then it's, I don't know, it's real nice. Nice to see those people in pretty much every culture.
Yeah. And I feel like the interesting part is like when you mentioned like in China, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I spent like around 17 years in Shanghai actually. Wow. I spent most of my life there. I think the thing about looking good in China, it really closely connected to trends. compared to Japan. So like in Japan,
Sure.
people dresses like this. Okay, so okay, if you're into Rick Owens, then that's your image.
Yeah.
That's, you have like a style identity, right?
Yeah.
You like Rick Owens, you're not going to switch into like full like a Loewe the next day, or you're not going to switch maybe full Ludan, which you betrayed yourself for that.
I do.
But-
For the record, like I have one Balenciaga day a month or something.
You
Oh,
get a
for
lot
real?
more than just one.
That's
When
true,
it
yeah.
gets when it gets cold.
Yeah, when it gets
Yeah.
cold, I wear a lot. I
Yeah.
used to be just that one brand only, and
Yeah.
now every now and then I'll just take a little detour.
Sure.
Yeah.
The life path is still
Yeah.
Rick. Yeah.
And Japanese people were like you, like before, like they just have like a one path, you know, like they're quite
Yeah.
loyal to it. I would say it's
Right.
like a really Japanese way of thinking. And then like, if a guy is like more streetwear and like he like actually likes the culture, if he likes like hip hop music, like old school stuff, then he dresses like a certain way, right?
Sure.
And then like you don't switch up to like Rick Owens like Kiss boots in the next week.
It's
Just
consistent.
because it's trendy. But
Yeah.
in China, you can see people like switch from one to one really fast. Like whatever is trending and gets like more likes on social media,
Sure.
it just feels like, I'm not saying like everyone, I'm saying like in general.
Yep.
Like people, they are like very prone to like kind of just go towards like, okay, whatever catches like more people's eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I admire both from very different perspectives. I really appreciate when someone is like dedicated to a uniform, but I also really appreciate someone who like understands culture in that way, that they can sort of like, because like I don't think I'm very good at like keeping up with trends. You tell me something's trendy and I'm like, I don't think so. That doesn't sound right. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm like, oh, everybody is wearing that.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, yeah, same. Like, actually, I do appreciate, I don't think like there's better or worse. It's just like a matter of preference, I think.
Sure.
And also it's just like a difference, like a cultural difference. Yeah. I definitely like, I feel like, in China, like it's relatively like easy to get into fashion. I feel like fashion became such a growing like big thing
Sure.
in China in like the recent years. It grows so rapidly because trends are really like,
Yeah.
in your face, you know,
Got it.
like this is okay, jorts, okay, like, like camel,
Yeah.
okay, kiss heels, kiss boots, like stuff like that,
Me and my camo jorts and kiss heels.
yeah, exactly. Like stuff like that is like really, but like they make it like really simple for like people
Yeah.
to understand.
Okay.
It, you know what I mean? Like the entry like bar is like relatively low. Because
Got it.
like in Japan, there's not really like 10 people on social media telling you that, oh, okay, like wear this now, like
Yep.
wear that now, and you'll be in style. Like
Yeah.
there's not really people like that. Yeah. So like in China, I guess it's easy to get into that culture. That's why
Yeah.
it's such a big market.
Would you consider yourself to be more in the Japanese mindset in that sense, more like dedicated to this same?
Yeah, I will say so. Like I only wear like certain brands. Yeah, I just like I go into my closet and let's same like on my Yahoo auction page. Like there's always like only the few that I go from.
Yeah.
Like the certain words. I just scroll down and boom. Yeah, and I go through everything and there's nothing. I don't buy anything else. It's not like I really go in and explore. There's really just a
Yeah.
few. I mean, like you probably know most of them. It's just like those quote unquote avant-garde brands, Julia's and everything. Yeah.
I've seen you the last 3 days, and you have been wearing different stuff, but all with the same like sort of thread woven, like the same sort of like idea going on. So yeah, that's good to see.
Yeah, but actually it's because I didn't bring any other pants. Yeah. No, like
And just the one pair of shoes.
actually I have more than one, but this one makes me look tall. So.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
gotta, yeah.
Oh, like my other pair of shoes is the Rick Owens Adidas, like the tall ones.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
like
the socks. Yeah.
Yeah, like the socks. And then like the other pair of pants I bought is like shorts, which is too cold for this weather in my
Yeah.
opinion. It's like a double layered, like there's like a skirt, like the Rick
Yeah, yeah.
Owens ones, and then like the other ones really drop crouch.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's like it's like 2-layer
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
thing. Yeah, I'm like maybe like tomorrow I go to LA and I wear them there.
Yeah.
It's like a better weather. Yeah.
Get you some kiss heels. Look
Yeah.
real tall.
Yeah, real tall. Yeah.
So you're in New York only for one more day, or barely one more day. We hope you come back. But are there certain things that you've really enjoyed doing in New York, and are there things that you wish you had done while you were here?
I wished I played basketball here.
Do you play
Oh.
basketball?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
but
God.
Not on like a professional
No, that's
level,
fine.
but
Neither do I.
yeah, but like just like growing up in like my era where like there's Yao Min and there's like Jeremy Lin,
Yeah.
like you have to play basketball. Like you speak
Gotcha.
Mandarin, like you grow up in like like this like Asia, like you
Mhm.
have to play basketball, man. Like that was like the only sport back then. Yeah, so I wish I did that here, which I think is a little bit too late because it's already very late today.
We can go play tomorrow
Yeah.
morning if you want.
Saul will take you to play basketball. He
Yeah.
loves basketball.
Yeah.
You might have to play in your Adidas. Is the
Yeah, damn, that's the only option.
We could just go shoot around. Doesn't have to be
Yeah.
anything serious. Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that probably. Yeah, and the thing that I really enjoy doing, I think, is probably meeting people. Honestly,
Mm.
yeah, like I really like the energy that's flowing around in the city, and like there was like a line here earlier today,
Oh,
and
yeah?
I think it's really unexpected, because it's our first time here. Like, why would people on the other side of the earth be even more interested in what we're doing?
Because it's good stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
You got good
So,
stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, twofold. I think a lot of people here that I talk to know about Professor.E
Mm-hmm.
and now have like learned troubled waters through like association. And also I think Komune just has like such a dedicated group of like people who will show out. Do you, after 3 days of basically like professionally talking here, do you feel worn out?
Very, very much, very
Yeah.
much, very much. Like every day I go to sleep is like, I feel like my brain get hit by a bat like, when I'm on the bed, Like I tried to stay awake like a little bit later to like fix my like the jet lag.
Mhm.
I cannot. I really cannot.
Mm.
Like I crawl myself like into the shower room and I take a shower. I crawl back out and turn on my phone. I try to set an alarm at 9 o'clock, but I always wake up at 5. Like it's been like this for the past 2 days.
And you're going to LA after this.
Yeah, which is another 3 hour or so time difference, right?
Yes.
Yep.
It's
Okay.
it's going to be 3 hours earlier. So
Oh.
you'll be waking up at
2
2
a.m.
Oh my God, yes. That's what I told Ken today.
What's happening in LA?
Just hanging out with some friends.
Okay.
Like,
Nice.
meeting a few guys. Like, you guys are like Fernando and everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are good friends. And then maybe with David, like, your ERD people.
Oh, cool.
Interesting.
We were just talking about ERD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know them in LA or?
Yeah, like they came to Tokyo before, like
Oh, wow.
Henry, David, Riley, the photographer, David,
Mhm.
the stylist, and
Cool.
Henry, yeah.
I said it before in the podcast. The episode will be a month old, but I really respect what ERD has done. They have a
Yeah.
really, really dedicated following
Yeah.
of people. And it's always surprising because their clothes are quite expensive. I love their leather jackets. But they will have people rabidly buying the crew necks, the shirts. I mean, basically everything sells really well. And I think they've done a very good job of cultivating a community around their clothing. Are there certain ways as the sort of creative director of Troubled Waters that you're trying to do the same?
So I think what ERD did is like very, very difficult to be mimicked by anyone.
Yeah.
I feel like ERD is like Chrome Hearts in a sense. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like it's like a rockstar brand. That's how I
Mhm.
usually refer to them because like we do like marketing direction for a lot of brands. So it's like a lot of brands nowadays to be like, yeah, how can it be like ERD? It's like it's not simple, Like there's
Yep.
probably just Chrome Hearts and ERD, and that's about it. Like what we refer to like rockstar brands means that it is a brand where like you buy a T-shirt, but you don't look at it and be like, yeah, it's just cotton, it's not worth the money.
Mm.
It's for like the symbolism. You know what
it's
I
like
mean?
the status of
Exactly, it's the
Yeah.
status of it. Like that's why it's a rockstar brand. Like
Yeah.
you're not there to judge like how much it is. It's more about the vibe. Like it's more about the community. It's more about what goes beyond
it. Yeah.
the garments, which I think that's also why it's so successful. And as for Troubled Waters, like I feel like, I do want people to feel like a sense of community, but I also don't want to set the bar really high.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I want to keep it like affordable for people to like really wear it. Like it
Mhm.
don't. I wanted to set a price where people don't have to care too much about. Okay, I'm getting it dirty today,
Yeah.
or like oh, I shouldn't wear this, because it's the hot weather. I might have my sweat stain on it.
Mhm.
Like I want it to be like very accessible. Like
Yeah.
you can buy 2 pairs of the pants. You fuck up one, then you wear like the other.
Right, yeah.
Stuff
Yeah.
like this. I think that's the world is already filled with like a lot of very expensive garments.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily need like another one.
And I appreciate the idea of sort of just just continuing to wear your clothes,
Yeah.
I guess, to wear them into the ground.
I think the idea of a rockstar brand is really interesting. And another brand that I would say was able to do it, if only for a short period of time, was Saint Laurent when Eddie
Yeah.
Slimane was there.
Yes.
They had a pretty incredible run in 2016 to 2019, 2018 maybe, where people were going insane for those clothes.
Yeah.
And I think it's always a sign that somebody's doing something right when there are a huge amount of requests for fake,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Have you seen any fake Troubled Waters pop up?
It's only been 9 months.
Yeah.
It's a good question. They've gotten
I-
so good at making fakes.
It's true.
I haven't actually. I haven't.
Will you be
Yeah.
flattered or offended?
Ooh.
I'll be flattered actually. Yeah, if someone, because it means that there's market, right?
Yeah.
I think that there's certain small what is it? Someone was asking about basket case fakes
Oh,
at
yeah.
some point, and it's like that brand is so small and so affordable.
You probably just ask, they might just have it.
Yeah, it is I think you do keeping the price point low is a really good way to have less demand for fakes.
Yeah,
Trying to make it
exactly.
more accessible, I guess.
Exactly. Like there's not much meaning of making something that's $120 $100, you know.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
would just buy the real thing, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for Marcel Everette, I have seen fakes in China before.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially after we did events there. There was the last day I think I saw one of the supporters I got
Showed up to the pop-up in fake Marcel?
Actually not, but he
Okay.
went to another place.
Okay.
And then it was a store or something. I forgot the context exactly, but he showed me a photo. It was the belt. It was a super similar design, 100% rip off.
Wow.
But just with a bad leather and with bad hardware, you know.
People are so quick about that. You can release something and a week later someone's got
Right.
it.
No, because that's literally one day after the pop-up and they already have the thin, you know. They either knew, they saw the news that we're going there, so they'd be now Marcel Everette's going to have a
I see,
market.
there's going to be a demand.
Yeah, so
Got
there's
it.
going to be a demand, so they predicted that and they made something in advance, or they just really just came here and bought one and then made it in 2 days, which I hope they didn't, because that's fucking scary.
Yeah, it's really scary.
Right? It's fakes are.
Yeah. Are there is there any particular thing from this current collection? I guess actually, as a first question, how are you structuring the collections of Troubled Waters? Are you following a seasonal release?
Yeah. Actually, we're not. It's we just release on our own schedule. So each collection they're named with acts, ACTs, because it's a play or it's a novel. You know,
So
there's different.
what act is this?
That's 2 and that's 3. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
So
3
there's-
is almost gone, so it's a few pieces scattered around. Yeah, and but yeah, the main reason why I think we're not following the fashion schedule is because we do showroom for so many brands. You know, it is I know showroom is cool, get it into big stores is cool.
Yep.
You know, but at the same time, because we do it for other people, I notice how much it takes, you know, for a team, you know, for your manufacturing team, for your design team, for your marketing team, with you working for B2B business, you really do have to scale up, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at Troubled Waters and be okay, is it necessary for us to scale up at this point? You know, we're only 9 months old, just for us to be satisfied and be oh, you know, we're in a couple of stores.
Sure.
For me, that's not completely necessary, because we already got other brands Rockstar into Nubian, Essence, Professor.E, blah blah blah. It's, you know, we already have we already showed other people that, you know, if we really want to, we can get it here and there,
Right.
because there's also places very actively asking it for Troubled Waters, HBX and everything. They reached out several times, but we're just I don't think it's the right timing.
Yeah. If you were to go to a store if HBX reaches out to you, I assume that drastically increases your production. You have to produce a lot more units at that point.
The problem is when you just get into one stockist, it doesn't even make sense for you to produce more. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
from the current economy, if you don't have over 10 stockists at once, you know, it doesn't really mean anything. Like in terms of like, it doesn't even take away the stress for you to like produce like bigger units.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah. And then like, if you just get into one, like there's really like a no meaning, especially when we can move all the units like either online or with like events like this.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah. And then at the same time, like also don't want to see like troubled waters in 10 stores, you know, because
Right.
you know, like with 10 stores, that means that it's a lot more stress and we need like a lot more people.
Right.
And then
yeah.
if not with 10 stores, then there's also no meaning. So, you know, like it's either way, either road doesn't make sense.
Right,
For us.
yeah.
So yeah.
And if you were in a store like HBX, would they make you stay on a more like standard seasonal schedule?
So like, I don't know if I can say this or not, but like the deal that they are giving us is more like you guys do whatever you want, but we just really want to sell with you because they know like our sell-through rate is high.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you know, HBX is like mainly like online, you know, like they do have like their own place in like Hong Kong, but it's mainly online. And
They had a store here.
Oh, for real?
Briefly, yeah. They had one in Soho, I think, but it closed pretty quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, like and it's like and we also sell online. So like I was like, what's the point? You know, like just to tell other people we're in HBX. I was like, it's not very necessary, you know. Like
I get it.
Yeah, it's okay. We don't have to be in like those accounts to prove that we have a community, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of these collections, is there a standout thing? Like what's your like favorite thing you've made recently? If you can pick a
Favorite child.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's going to be actually, I'm just joking now. I always have my personal favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually mentioned briefly previously, but it was like the leather vest because like it's really nice for traveling. You know.
Yeah.
It's like there's like 3 pockets. Like on the right hand side, I can still memorize because I've been wearing it for 3 days straight. So it's like my passport on the right hand side. On the left hand side is like my wallet and then my cable, my power bank. And then like there's like a small pocket here, like a little bit more above, and that's my card holder for business cards. Yeah, it's like a really Japanese thing. I give out cards basically. I didn't use it a lot in New York, not to my surprise because I know it's just for Japan. But yeah, I feel like that's my favorite piece because it looks cool and it's very practical. And also sold out at the Popup already. So.
Oh damn! Because there was a leather and there was a cotton
as a
one.
cotton. The cotton one is still alive, but like the leather.
Oh,
one
I can see the
out.
cotton one from my seat here.
That's cool, and that's like not I feel like that might be one of the most expensive items you had here.
Yeah, the leather one would be the most expensive.
Yeah,
the most expensive is just $350 though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you do a really good job of keeping price points like accessible. Is that intentional? That's like a
Yeah, it's like also like that's one reason why like it's so important for us to just do like direct to customer because it's like once you do B2B, like you have to make your margin a lot higher for it to make sense, you know. Like I don't know if I should share it with everyone, but it's like really like fashion business, you know, at this point because like we do like showrooms, so like we have to consult a lot of brands. They do consult us for like the business side of stuff, right? So it's like, so let's do like a basic calculation, right? So you're selling like something for like wholesale. Okay, let's say it's like $100, right? And then like usually like if you're from Asia, you're selling it to like a Europe or like you're doing like an international line sheet, and the markup is around 2.7. Okay. And then like with the tax, like sometimes some stores like let's say Pontomp, like they add it around 3.0 with like all the tax and like other stuff. So you're selling it for like 300. That's when like that's how much it cost when it has the rack in Europe, right? And then like okay, then how much was going to be like your manufacturing cost, right? You're going to do like $300 item retail, manufacturing cost like 80. Like that sounds good if it's like direct to customer, right?
Yeah. Right.
But like when you do wholesale, then you're selling it only for 100. That's how much you make. So you're only making $20. Like then you cannot manufacture something that's $80. You know.
Yeah.
You have to get less, like 50, 30, 40, 20. You know, it just gets lower and lower. And then like the things that the customer gets at last is just like of like a lower quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like in like in wholesale, like if you don't make it like at least like 6.0, like from like your production cost to like your final retail price, then it wouldn't make much sense.
Right. Yeah. It's just a whole nother like step and a whole nother group of people that needs to make money off of it, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like more people doing it like in the middle, and like and for us like it's not the best idea.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's having a brand that makes like unique and interesting clothes, but is still accessible to people is sort of the biggest thing that is like often missing from fashion.
Yeah.
It's like so much of the like popular, well-made pieces are just so prohibitively expensive for most people.
I also think it's interesting because certain things can be accessible to certain groups. And especially when we focus on younger people, probably from the ages of 15 to 24, 25, there's not a ton of, disposable income. And so having cool clothes that are price accessible and are not just t-shirt jeans is really cool. And I think gets people excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a big reason is that actually a lot of like, I feel like I'm really deep in the industry right now, like the fashion industry, but like low key, like some of my closest friends, like they are not into fashion. They're just like friends, like they don't care about clothes that much. And I'm just thinking like what will make sense to them, you know what I mean? Like they're not going to spend like $1,000 on like a hoodie or like a jacket, you know what I mean? Like, but if it's like something like lower than that, like around 200-300, like even for them, like they can be able to like understand, like they're not going to think it's cheap, you know what I mean? But like they can understand that like it's priced like that and like it's reasonable. So at the same time, like it's not like I'm intentionally pricing it like this and that and just the calculations, but it's also just designing and pricing it with common sense.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, at this point.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're a business, and to stay afloat and to keep making things, you need to have made money.
Exactly.
That's just the way that it goes.
Exactly. It's like you got these shorts, like they are worth a lot of money, but you got it for $250.
Yeah. And that's a whole other. So there, there's accessible brands, and then there's brands that if you wait long enough, if you just sit and refresh eBay every single day, one day you'll find it.
I used to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I still do sometimes. Not I used to. Yeah,
what are you after then? What are you hoping will pop up?
Oh my god. Anything from brands that I like Taichi Murakami, CCP for sure, Deputy, whatever. But like nowadays it's difficult, because nowadays like it's like what we talked about earlier today. Like they price it, like they know the value nowadays.
Yeah.
It's too accessible. Like you just go online, you see like the other things you compare like something that's going for like $2,000. You're not going to sell for $250. You know. What I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're also just using common sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
people used to be much dumber about pricing things on the
yes,
internet.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And those glory days are gone.
Unfortunately.
Yes. You have to start buying drop waters.
I'd also love to talk a little bit more just about the pieces. You have a pair of boxing shorts, which I think is really interesting.
Oh,
Do you
Yeah.
box? Do you?
In uni, like I did 2 years of Muay Thai. Actually.
Oh, sick!
Yeah,
Cool.
and
Amazing.
kickboxing, Muay Thai. Yeah, I did both. So that's why like the pair of pants, like my trainer at like the dojo, like he used to.
Oh,
wear,
really?
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I still have like photos from it, and I just took like the photo, and then like I asked like the designer to be like, hey, like can you go from like this model? Yeah, and like they did a great job. Yeah, like it's really, really cool. I'm really happy with like the fabric. It's like 100% cotton, but it's like a really stiff, like a cold dyed. Yeah, like I wear that a lot. Like when I'm in Tokyo during the summer, it's like my go-to pair of pants. Yeah, they're really nice.
Yeah. Do you find yourself quoting or drawing inspiration from or saying, hey, I want to make this from life experiences?
Yeah, a lot, I think. A lot. Yeah, like for me to like make it make sense, it has to be more so personal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I much rather do that because I feel like it's it makes more sense for me to like just go from Garrett's coming in. That's why I'm a little bit distracted. But that's him. Oh, he's going to have a cigarette. Yeah, no, like it's more personal, and like I like it when like other people ask me to explain about things. It's just like, okay, anyone can understand like where this comes from, like I don't want to, because look, like nowadays I don't know like about in the US, maybe in the US it's better, but I feel like sometimes like in Asia, like especially in China, I love China, by the way. It's just that it's sometimes like the place I'm just surrounded with people who like makes clothes, and like they start telling me about like the solar system and telling me about like the meaning of life and death and everything, and it's just a shirt. I was like, okay, like I know like you're trying to appeal
Yeah.
like to me or to I hope she's not telling that to everyone, as to me, but look, like guys, like don't take it that serious,
Yeah.
you know, like just chill, like lay back, like look, like it's just a comment. I know, like you design it because it looks good, you know, like you design it because it's cool, but don't tell me about the solar system and how much, you know, air it's on a planet or whatnot. Like it doesn't make it, you know, shit doesn't make sense at all. I'm sorry.
Need more realism.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So
I've had the experience at any art school ever.
Yeah.
Anybody justifying their painting.
right. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, like, so I just really want to make it like really, it's not like a comedy. Like I want to be the drastic like opposite
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
that and just saying like everything like really straightforward, because I feel like no one's really doing that nowadays, sadly.
I made this shirt because I like it and it looks good.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yep. Sometimes most of the collections are, some of the items are really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I want to try on a bunch of it now.
Yeah, so do I.
Sure.
We'll do dress.
Yeah.
How long is the pop-up like ending tomorrow, or are you guys? Because you're heading out tomorrow.
Yeah. The pop-up ends tomorrow, I think,
Okay.
7 o'clock. Yeah.
Will they still be selling Troubled Waters in Komune, or is it?
I haven't decided actually. I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
decided. Yeah, it depends, because I haven't seen like the sales report so far. I think like it's like, of course, like with the people lining up and everything, we already know it's like above like expectation, but I don't know like how many stuff are left. That's
Right.
that's a real problem, you know.
Yeah.
Like if still like not many left, then I feel like it's not really good looking to put it like on a rack.
Yeah.
You know, I just
Right,
pack the rest and just ship it back. You know, it's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, and if it looks like okay, it's like a presentable rack, presentable number of garments, then I feel like I can put it here, like no problem at all. Yeah, so I just haven't decided because I haven't seen the sales report.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Komune has impressed me with they're like on their second week, and still every weekend there has been a huge crowd both days.
They're also very intentional with what they put out and where they put it out.
Yeah.
And it's been really interesting. I mean, they've been ripping through their stock.
Yeah.
They had this set of rings. They were basically using insect parts.
Yeah.
And Michael and I came in.
Have you seen these?
2 days later, they were all gone, basically, except for one of them.
Yeah, they've sold through them.
Yeah.
They're-
Yeah, I saw. So there's only like 1 or 2 left.
Yeah. It's crazy.
There was a ring I kind of wanted to buy. They didn't have it in the right size for me. I came back the next day, it was gone, and there was a guy there who was wearing it. Like
Dang.
the guy, the show model that I tried on has already gone, and I think they've like pulled more through.
That's tough.
People love this place. It's really it makes me feel really good about fashion.
Yeah. Kids are going to be all right.
I also know the brand. Like I know the person behind it. Yeah, and then it's actually not even like a huge brand, but you know, like I feel like that really speaks volume on how the community really just trusts like Komune's vision.
Yeah.
And I think like the reason they stuck the brand is actually because like when he was in Tokyo, like and Martin was also in Tokyo, I just asked everyone out for like a drink at
So you like brought them together.
yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's
Aw.
how like they knew each other at SG Club. Yeah, and I didn't know like they did anything like together afterwards.
Yeah.
But like, and I came here and I learned that they did,
That's amazing.
which is nice. And then now I learned that they sold well, which is even nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just like pulling people together, you know, interesting people.
So much of it is just about like having a community and not even focusing on business, but just focusing on like talking.
Yeah.
And that's where all the like connections happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, like, either way, like, I just really want to say that actually I think Komune is like super like impressive because look, like a year and a half back, probably, I forgot, but like a while back, Komune was a PDF. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a PDF. And Martin sent it to me, like, and you know, like, like when you're doing like showroom and like Wholesale for Professor.E, like you see like those PDF a lot.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then but like somehow like I think it's maybe the name or like the stuff or like his YouTube just kind of like. I kind of just saw it and it kind of just caught my eye like a little bit more. And then like we started like talking about like more seriously. And then like he came to Tokyo and everything. It was like a whole process to like, of course it's a new store. So like it's not a bad thing. Like it's not like talking crap about the team, but it's like they're really cautious, you know, of course.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new stores around. And then like we're like, I'm trying to like persuade them about like this and that. And then like showing them like the stuff. And like Komune just became like more and more concrete and like their planning. And now the fast forward, the PDF turned into like a whole store.
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe one of the smartest like New York business things I've seen done is like 1 month dedicated pop-up.
Test run, yeah.
Take a year off, plan everything out, come back, do it for real.
Yeah,
And
I
then,
also think credit to them. They found a great space. They have a great landlord that let them demo the place and essentially build it the way they wanted to. They've got an incredible team. Like they've really thought this through end to end, and then also gotten lucky to a certain extent. New York City landlords are a mess and a nightmare for the most part.
How did you meet Brandon?
Brandon.
Sorry, not Brandon. Martin, the other commune guy. I guess you met Brandon because he's here.
Yeah,
How
exactly.
did you meet? Sorry, how did you meet Martin?
Oh, okay. I think, like, honestly, like, I cannot recall, but it's probably like through a DM or like an email. I think.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like something that I remember. It was something that I usually don't read. That's the thing. So I really feel like it was fate, because he came over, and then like he came to Japan one time. I just grabbed a coffee with him, and back then like my business in Japan is like a lot smaller too, and Komune hasn't really started as like a project. It's like way before they did a pop-up, right? And then and I just really felt like he knows what he's doing, and I know that as like a young like business owner is like you guys have to like more so support each other,
Of course.
because it's like you have to believe in him for like other people to believe in him. You know what I mean? It's like starting like like the stalkers that we have right now outside, like it's really legit. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's really nice, but it's like you have to be like one confirmed to get like the other to get like the other, and the process is like, okay, then who confirms you first? You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like but either way, like I'm glad that it all worked out, but I know like how difficult of a process it is, because I'm like very deep into like the wholesale thing right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
As someone who balances like sort of doing a little bit of everything in the fashion industry, how do you split up your like work day and your like how do you know what you're supposed to be doing? I don't have focus like that. How do you stay focused and like know what you need to be working on?
Yeah, so I'll say like it's a huge thank you to my team actually, because my wholesale manager in Japan, Max, he's from Australia actually. He lives in Japan now. He really so he does like he basically like overviews all like the wholesale related things. So like all of the brands that we're working with, like all the 5 brands that we're bringing to Paris next January, like he takes care of basically all the communications. Yeah, only Professor.E is like a special situation, because like they're my brother, so like it makes sense that I talk to him. And I talk to him every day. So but other than that, he keeps me like like if something that I have to reply to, like he'll always just add me in the group chat, or just send me like an extra message and be like, hey Paul, this is something you really have to read, like this is important, like we go from there. And then like for production, like I have like my production department in like the company, which just kind of executes all of the like our visions together. And I think that's also very important. And as for like, so like a lot of people like they look at me and be like, hey Paul, how do you even have time to do like an extra brand? But like honestly, like what we're doing, what my team is doing for like Troubled Waters is actually the same thing that we're doing for like our other clients. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. It was like everything that's it was like the visuals, like the marketing, and like the creative side of stuff. So it's like it just feels like I'm working with like another client, but this client is like my own child, or like this client is like something that I co-funded.
I just feel like I know people who are in charge of brands and they have no free time at all, and I know people who run PR and like communications companies,
Also
and they have no free time at all. So you have like double no free time at all.
Exactly. But at the same time, like I always like, so I'm always really busy, but like sometimes we walk back, me and my partner, like we just walk back from like the office, and it's like she always looked at me like I'm really tired, which I am. But I always tell her that, look, like the job that I'm doing, like being able to be like the creative director of so many amazing shoots with so many amazing brands, being able to produce them, I was like, this is literally like any art student or fashion student's dream job. And it's like I should be really happy that I'm able to work with like these amazing photographers, stylists, hair makeup artists, these amazing models. I was like, this is something that I truly love to do. Like even if like you tell me not to do it today, I will probably still do it. You know what I mean? Like this is something that everyone, at least for me, like I've always dreamed to do. Like this is my dream job. This is my passion. So like even if you ask me to not work, like I'll feel really uncomfortable. So please just let me do my thing. And if I ever do overload, I'll let you know. You know, like it's okay.
That's how I feel about podcasting.
Yeah, right.
You couldn't stop me.
Yeah. And
I
there's
have to take this mic out of my cold dead hands.
Yeah, and no need to stop. No.
No. Thanks. Yeah.
Before we get too far away from it, before we forget, we also have a wonderful community on Discord. People can talk about fashion, talk about basically anything. But we ask all of our guests to give us a word or a phrase to message us on Instagram at Pair of Kings Pod if they'd like to join the Discord. Would you give us a word or a phrase, Polo?
Sorry, I didn't quite understand. I never used Discord before.
We need our listeners to prove that they have listened to an episode. Oh. And there's a secret word hidden within that episode, and you are giving us that secret word.
It's like my university online lectures, like
on
demand lectures where like they say something like right in the middle, and then you have to reply to it. I will say what would be a nice word? Red.
Red.
Cool. Easy.
Yeah, the color red.
Yeah. Any particular reason?
It's my least favorite color.
Your least favorite? You made wait.
It's a red shirt.
That's
right
literally the only color in Act 3.
That's why it's funny. it's humor. Like the people who like know me, they will know like why it's a piece that it's just like Polo fucking around. Because they know
I was gonna ask you what, as a joke, I was gonna ask you your least favorite piece that you made in this collection.
Is
it the red shirt?
No, like it's so like interesting at this point that I love it a lot. You know, like right now.
Do you wear it?
I actually never worn it before.
Right.
No, like actually, like I worn it 0 times. Yeah, like every single piece, like I have a copy at home, but not the red.
Not the one red shirt.
Yeah, not the one red shirt.
That's beautiful. Is that because like also
it's quite literally the redheaded stepchild.
There's a lot of like monochrome. Is that the like only colored piece of clothing?
Yes, so far. Yeah. So far, and it's red. Look, like me and red, like we have this whole like history. Like I swear to God, like I'm pretty sure like it started like either I had like a childhood trauma that
you were
I
telling
didn't.
us about.
Yeah, you don't need tomatoes.
Eat anything red.
Oh yes. I don't eat anything red. Like tomatoes, watermelon, strawberry, everything. No, like I don't like it
because of the color.
Yeah.
Would you eat ketchup on a burger?
Oh no.
Wow.
I cannot order like a McDonald's through Uber Eats because they wouldn't give me the option to take out anything. So
if you didn't see it, like if you were
eyes closed.
if you were blindfolded, could you like and ate a tomato? Would you like be aware of its redness?
Now I already know the taste of tomato,
right,
so I already like it's already blacklisted.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like so. Let's say for example, right? For when I eat an apple, like I would like to peel it the outside off first, and then I eat it. But I know like the inside is not red, so it's okay. But like as a watermelon, like yes, outside is green, like I understand, but not even the
part
green
you
part.
eat
But
is
the,
You'd be a
the
terrible
part
vampire.
Yeah, you.
Yes, oh, you're right. I never thought about it this way. That's such a new take. Luckily, I'm not a vampire, right?
Yeah.
Who would have imagined? Yeah.
Not red 40 maxing either.
Yeah.
40 maxing.
Yeah, exactly. No, like it's either I had like a childhood trauma or like it's there must be something, no?
Yeah,
Or I just hated Chinese New Year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's.
Yeah.
That's such a like I guess you drink the like red tea drink, but inside
but inside is not red. Exactly. You already got it now. Very smart. Very smart. Yeah.
Oh man. For the record, maybe the only color that I like truly like is red.
Damn.
Yeah, like I don't wear. I mean, I mostly wear black and white and gray, but I have like dark red. But I have a lot of dark red shirts that I like to wear.
You guys are crazy.
Yeah.
I will wear any color. It does not bother me. Maybe not orange.
I like.
It just doesn't look.
I have an
it
orange
doesn't
shirt
look good
that
on
I
me.
wear.
It doesn't look good on me.
Oh, why not orange?
It just doesn't look good on me. It makes me look really washed out and pale.
Like skin tone.
Yeah.
I've never.
I look really shit in yellow, by the way.
Oh, interesting.
Me too. I have a yellow shirt that every time I put it on, I'm like, I look like shit, and I take it off.
I look
and it
good in
just
like a
sits in
dusty
drawer.
yellow,
Yeah,
like a mustard.
Maybe that would be better, but not the bright yellow.
Yeah. I
Never
don't think
bright
anybody
yellow.
looks good in bright yellow.
No, bright yellow just shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. No, but actually, you know, like my thing with the red, like it's gotten to a point that like I don't feel like I hate it, but it's like when I wear it, I feel like it's rather meaningful. It's like a reverse logic, you know, because it's like my enemy. So like I kind of look at it as like I'm facing my fears type of, you know, stuff. So yeah, I do try to like tap into it like a little bit more like recently, just for fun, you know.
Yeah.
Because like when I wear something, I think it's more about the meaning aside from like what it's actually, you know, like for example, like I think like this. Actually, like this older, like a Rick Owens, like the rider jacket that I'm wearing right now, they have like another one in like a leather, right? And I have like, and that Troubled Waters jacket is also like a rider's jacket. So I feel like it's like kind of sense of humor that only I will like, you know, realize.
It's an
but it's
inside
actually,
joke.
that's a rider jacket, and this is a rider jacket too.
Yeah.
But I'm not wearing the Troubled Waters one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what
It's
you
like stuff like this that I just it's to myself, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's like a small meaning to it. It's just the same thing as having something that's red nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, like it's kind of like, oh well, shit, I hate the color, but actually not a lot of people know. After this podcast, everyone's going to know. Fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we can cut it out if you want.
yeah, no, it's okay.
We can bleep the colors so no one knows.
Yeah, and then like they all think I hate the orange too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, something like that.
Polo's crib.
Yeah. For real, like maybe like the next time you enter my crib and it's just all red.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just me facing my fears. But yeah, like when it has like this special
Trauma
meaning.
therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Just immersion therapy.
Yeah. For
Go
real.
on a red only diet for a month.
But no, like if you think of it this way, like it doesn't red in like a nature kind of just tells you like a danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it
usually.
well,
Right?
roses,
Roses are red.
With the spikes.
spikes.
Yeah. Like for example, if you see like a frog, the one is green and one is red, you have
Poison
to eat
dart
one.
frogs are red.
Yeah. Then you I'm not sure everyone will eat the red frog.
Yeah. Red is like an inherently. Maybe you're just like more in touch with your like nature than we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I wasn't gonna say it, but
We may have to wind down.
Yes. Yeah, we
but
should
before
probably-
we go, we do a segment called Song of the Week where we ask our guests, and then we also give us a song that you've been listening to and enjoying, and we put it
Yeah.
on a playlist.
Okay, wait. Let me open my phone.
can I see your phone?
Yeah.
I need to.
I can go first. I will put on Dirty by Christina Aguilera. Oh, my bad. Great song. I love Xtina. She's great.
Yeah.
Christina.
Dirty. I think I'm actually going to do. I'm gonna do the Postal Service.
Okay.
DC sleeps alone tonight.
I don't know.
So Postal Service. This I was thinking about this earlier.
Sure.
You know Death Cab for Cutie.
Yeah.
The like kind of emotional rock band, whatever. Back in like the early 2000s, M Ward, I forget her name, the lead singer of one of those like indie bands, and the lead singer of Death Cab for Cutie all had a band together called the Postal Service. And this is like olden times, so there was not really like file transfer and stuff.
Sure.
So one guy would make the music,
Okay.
and like he lived in LA, and then he would mail it to
Like on a flash drive or something?
yeah, he would mail it to Ben Gibbard, who would record vocals over it.
Oh, that's why it's called the Postal
So
Service.
it's called the Postal Service because that's how they was like what they were using to like sort of collaborate on this thing, and it was like a very like long-term thing.
That's
and
great.
They made a full album.
Cool.
It's sort of, I thought about it when you were talking about Troubled Waters and this like starting in Japan with an idea, and then you have to send it to Ken in Taiwan, and then you have to do all this like back and forth.
Postal Service.
The Postal Service. It's to people my age, it's like a very like classic cliche indie band, but
Cool.
Postal Service. DC sleeps alone tonight.
Nice.
Yeah, we maybe have a collaboration like Troubled Waters and FFF Postal Service.
Oh.
Maybe this year.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So I also say a song, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's like this song called "The Higher Being" by like a Chinese like old avant-garde producer / singer-songwriter called Do Wei. Yeah, she's the ex-husband of Fei Wong actually.
Oh.
Yeah, so they also have like a daughter who's also an artist, but he's like a really he was very innovative in like the music scene. He was making like really ahead of his time music, like more experimental.
Yeah.
And like The Higher Being is like a really good song.
Cool. Yeah, perfect. Oh, out of curiosity, you speak Japanese
Yeah.
and English and Chinese,
Mandarin, yeah.
Mandarin, and I get not Taiwanese or like.
Yeah, I mean,
to
like
some degree.
Taiwanese is like a dialect, but yeah, I speak it.
Yeah,
I speak it.
yeah. Okay, cool. That's crazy. That's so many languages to keep track of. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's convenient though.
Yeah.
That's how I can talk to you because I know English.
Do you switch between like a Taiwanese and a Chinese accent when you're?
I actually do.
Yeah. Okay.
I actually do. When I talk to someone like Martin, like Martin's from Beijing, right?
Yeah.
Originally, yeah. And I have like a really like Chinese accent.
Yeah.
And when I speak to like Ken, I have quite a Taiwanese Mandarin accent, I would say.
Fiona talks to me about this all the time.
Yeah,
Like she switches between based off of who she's talking to.
That's crazy.
Like, and you can immediately tell when someone's like walking past you talking, like, oh, that person's like Taiwanese.
Oh.
Yeah, from like one sentence, like it will be easy to like as soon as they open their mouth, like it's easy to tell.
She was able to tell someone's like whether they were from China or Taiwan based off of like one character that they used for one I don't know if it was like, so they were talking about tomato egg.
Yeah,
as the food, and I don't know what it was. But
what
like,
is tomato egg?
Tomato egg, it's that.
I know. It's like the difference between 番茄 and 西红柿. It's like the different ways to call tomato, basically.
Okay, gotcha.
Either way, I hate tomato, but yeah.
You know
hate
they
it in
make
both
non-red
dialects.
tomatoes, right?
Yes, I know, but it's too late. I already recognize it.
It's interlinked.
Exactly.
Interlinked.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's already blacklisted. It's not
Gotcha.
coming out anytime soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had so many people walk by and either take photos or give like a thumbs up. It's kind of
and
crazy.
I can't tell if they. Some people I thought might have known the podcast. Other people I think are just like, hey, those guys are recording in a store.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they think we are celebrity.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, Polo, take the floor. Tell everybody where they can find you, where they can find Troubled Waters, what you have coming up, whatever you'd like to say.
Okay.
Go
sick.
crazy.
Okay. Yes. Why not? You can find me like personally on IG, like you said earlier, POLO __ZHENG. You can find my agency in Japan. It's like a creative consultancy. We do productions and we do showrooms. It's called WENI.LLC on Instagram. And then last but not least, we've been talking about the main character of the day. Troubled Waters. It's troublewaters.co. Yeah, and Professor.E, I guess you guys already know. It's it's quite a famous brand. If you don't know, then too bad. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, Professor.E, of course. Ooh, well, he didn't like
mad.
Yeah, he didn't like
Yeah.
my talk. Yeah, it's too commercial for him. Yeah, yeah. Thank you guys so much for having
This was
me.
great.
Yeah, no, thank
on
you for
this
coming on.
podcast. It's really chill. I saved my voice the whole day for this, but I still sound very bad because I'm really tired. But
you
I
did
hope it
great.
was okay.
Somebody earlier is like, yeah, Polo was being really quiet. Like, I hope he wasn't
Wait,
upset.
actually?
No, I'm
Yeah.
joking. I'm joking.
I was like, I
Yeah.
wonder who. Maybe Garrett. No.
Should I take us out?
Yeah. Take us out.
Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to this episode of the Pair of Kings podcast. I'm your host, Saul Thompson. You can find me on Instagram at Saul Thompson. I'm joined this week not only by my wonderful co-host
I'm Michael Smith. You can find me on Instagram at commune.space.
and our wonderful guest, Polo. You can find him on Instagram Oh my God!
Polo
on
__ Cheng.
God. Okay. Anyway, this has been the Pair of Kings podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Pair of Kings Pod. You can find us on YouTube at Pair of Kings Podcast. Thank you so much for listening or watching, everybody. If you're listening or watching, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, or leave a review on your favorite podcast streaming platform. All of that really helps. Also, don't forget to follow the Instagram. We do giveaways. And finally, Hero, where we do extra episodes, early access to episodes, and more giveaways. That is herohero.co/PoK. Have a great Tuesday, everybody, if you're listening to this as the public, or a Thursday if you're listening to this from the Hero. Take care. Lots of love. And as always, this has been the Pair of Kings podcast, where once a week, every week for the foreseeable future, we are bringing you business as usual tomfoolery as planned. Bye, everyone.